Alani Nu Fat Burner is not safe to use. Why? Because it contains an unusual extract called Rauvolfia vomitoria. This extract has been associated with problems in a clinical study where 4 out of 10 patients taking Rauvolfia vomitoria dried root powder experienced neurological side effects like tremors and spasms. In 2 cases, the symptoms were severe enough to require treatment with anti-Parkinsonian medications. But what exactly is Rauvolfia vomitoria, and why would anyone consider using it? Rauvolfia vomitoria, also referred to as poison devil's pepper, is a large shrub that grows in the lowland forests of Asia and West Africa. Traditionally, it has been used to alleviate pain, treat snake bites, manage menstrual pain, and address infections. Some speculate that Rauvolfia vomitoria extracts, which contain a chemical called rauvolfscine, might help with fat loss because it's similar in structure to another compound called yohimbine. There is a small amount of research that suggests yohimbine may help with fat loss and exercise performance. However, these findings are mostly from studies on mice, not humans. When it comes to research involving humans, yohimbine doesn't actually seem to offer any benefits for weight loss or fat metabolism. It also seems to lack any benefits for weight loss or athletic performance if you're exercising. But perhaps a bigger problem than it being ineffective for fat or weight loss is that these extracts often contain small amounts of drugs called risperidone. In the past, risperidone was used to treat high blood pressure, but it fell out of favor due to more effective and safer alternatives available. Risperidone has been linked to significant cardiovascular and neurological side effects, including slowed and irregular heartbeats, heart attacks, seizures, and depression. Now let's talk about the rest of the supplement. Here are the doses per capsule. The recommended dosing is 1 per day. We're going to analyze each ingredient to see whether they contain a sufficient dose, whether it contains the active compounds to work, and how effective they may be for weight loss. Then at the very end, I'll look into cheaper alternatives and give the supplement an overall rating. First up, we have caffeine. Whether it's from so-called, quote, micronized extracts or pure caffeine, they all work the same way. Caffeine can only aid in weight loss if it boosts your physical activity. I've covered this topic in another video linked below. The Alani Nu Fat Burner provides around 100 milligrams of caffeine per day, which is roughly the same as a cup of coffee. Out of all the components in this fat burner, caffeine is the one that comes closest to having an impact on fat burning and weight loss. Next, we have Griffonia seed extract. This extract contains a chemical called 5-hydroxytryptophan, or 5-HTP. People mostly take it to help with mood problems like depression. Some studies have looked into whether it can also help with obesity. These studies are quite small and not very strong, but they suggest that 5-HTP might slightly help with emotional eating and snacking. Unfortunately, the evidence is still too weak to prove that this will be enough to cause any actual weight loss. It's also worth noting that the studies used 750 to 900 milligrams of purified 5-HTP daily. Alani Nu Fat Burner contains only 50 milligrams of crude Griffonia seed extract, so even if there are benefits, the fat burner does not contain enough to make a difference. Moving on to dimethylethylamine, or DMAE, this ingredient was once promoted for children with ADHD due to its possible nootropic effects. Nootropics are substances that might enhance brain performance and cognition. DMAE could potentially contribute to better cognition, but the dose in Alani Nu Fat Burner is way too low. Research usually involves doses of around 500 milligrams, much higher than what's present here. Now let's talk about grains of paradise. This herb, related to ginger, is claimed by some to aid in fat burning and weight loss. This idea primarily comes from a small study that seemed to show benefits in fat reduction. The study looked into its effects on overall energy use and fat around the organs. However, the study was conducted on only 19 people, hardly enough to draw good conclusions. Nevertheless, in this study, those who took the grains of paradise extract had less fat around their organs compared to those who took a placebo. However, there were no differences in subcutaneous fat, body fat percentage, or total weight loss. Interestingly, the placebo group seemed to lose more weight overall, although this finding isn't very strong. Furthermore, other research suggests that grain of paradise really does not make a substantial impact on your weight or fat loss. Finally, we have Rauvolfia vomitoria extract. As mentioned earlier, there's no evidence supporting its ability to help with weight or fat loss. So why would someone consider even using this extract? Honestly, I have no clue. Not only is taking Rauvolfia vomitoria potentially unsafe and has been directly linked to serious neurological and cardiac problems in clinical trials, but it also lacks efficacy for fat burning. Perhaps the intention was to appear unique or stand out as an interesting supplement, but regardless of the reason, it's a terrible choice for a supplement branded as a fat burner. Additionally, Rauvolfia has the potential to cause birth defects and is considered a possible teratogen. This makes it crucial to avoid its use during pregnancy. Indeed, both Rauvolfia and yohimbine are ingredients not permitted in Canada due to safety concerns. As a result, it's likely that the Alani Nu Fat Burner cannot be legally purchased in Canada, and Health Canada strongly advises discontinuing the use of these products and urges individuals to report any of these items being sold. This isn't the first instance where Alani Nu products have clashed with Health Canada's regulations. The Canadian Food Inspection Agency, or CFIA, is also cautioning people against consuming the Alani Nu energy drink. Health Canada has established a maximum caffeine limit of 180 milligrams for energy drinks. However, the Alani Nu energy drink contains 200 milligrams. As a result, the CFIA has issued a warning to avoid it and has taken action to remove Alani Nu energy drinks from store shelves. Overall, Alani Nu Fat Burner is going to be no more effective than drinking a cup of coffee. In fact, it may not even be as good as a cup of coffee, since coffee contains other beneficial compounds like chlorogenic acid, a compound that actually has some evidence supporting its use in fat metabolism. In contrast, Alani Nu Fat Burner contains Rauvolfia, a compound that lacks any evidence it can help with fat or weight loss and has the potential to cause neurological and possibly serious side effects. If I were to closely replicate what Alani Nu Fat Burner is attempting to achieve, which is a combination of caffeine and some ingredients for mood support, I would consider a combination of caffeine and 5-HTP. Alani Nu Fat Burner is being sold for approximately $40 per month. You could combine any generic caffeine supplement for $1 to $2 per month, with a higher quality 5-HTP supplement for $3 to $4 a month. This combination is only $4 to $6 per month and is likely good enough to replicate Alani Nu Fat Burner while being safer to use. Rating Alani Nu Fat Burner by effectiveness for weight loss, I'm giving it a D. It's no better than a weak caffeine supplement and will likely be outdone by a single cup of coffee when it comes to fat metabolism. Rating it by cost, I'm giving it a D. You can replicate what Alani Nu Fat Burner is trying to provide you with better quality generics for many times less. Rating it for safety, I'm giving it a D. It contains Rauvolfia vomitoria, which is unsafe to use. Overall rating, I'm giving an F. I would recommend you stay away from it. Hi, I'm Dr. Brian Young. Do you think it's worth it? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you found this video helpful, please subscribe to the channel and leave me a like. Hit the notification bell if you want to stay up to date, and share this video with someone you know who use the info.